and take the blame when things go right and when things go wrong. In fact, some people have said, define leadership as being able to give credit to the people when things go right, when things goes right, or when jobs are done, and take the blame when things go wrong. So it's even a higher level of definition, that you can come to a point where you're willing to organize a team to the point that when things go right, you say, we did it. And when things go wrong, you say, it's my fault. So, and as a leader, you must come to that point where you understand, sacrifice your personal ego, your personal fears, all the things that are personal to you, to allow the collective good to move to, have its way. Then you may not be able to do very well, whether in your business or your career or any other area of your life. When you are able to sit back and allow everybody share the glory, and things are going well, everybody's excited, then things suddenly go wrong, or you make one silly mistake, and everybody says, it is your decision, it is you, and you take the burden, shoulder it, and you're able to move forward. I will discuss this morning with just 4 aspects, or 4 things I think leadership is, and that I think helps our business. This morning, we'll send a group of, constantly, we do things that I ask myself, is it worth it? Sometime in the organization, I looked at what we have spent, opening branches and opening locations. And I asked myself, if I put this money together, probably build one big house in Lagos, in Abuja, build another one in Port Harcourt, and maybe another one in the village, for all we have spent. You understand? And drive the best of cars and all that. But again, when you now look on the other side and see how many lives and how many people have benefited from those structures and systems we have set in place, you now ask yourself, this must be a higher kind of joy. Hello? Because again, people derive joy from things, but there are people who derive joy from life. And life is when you share. Hello? Yeah. So I will discuss this with faith. Let me not forget myself. Love, faith, and love, faith, living, and let's see the third thing that I want to look at. Giving. Yes, so love, faith, giving, living. And of course, when you come to leadership and it's essential, you understand that if you are not able to understand what faith is about, then leadership is very difficult. So we are looking at building leadership through sacrifice and building it around love, giving, faith, and living. You can't truly lead without love, without giving, without faith, and without living that example. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, it says, now let's remain 3 things: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of them, what? Is love. So let's start with love as it is. Love itself is what do I want to call it? Sacrifice is born, is the heart of sacrifice. Love is the heart of sacrifice. We have to love ourselves, love the people around us, and love the vision. Love is the heart of sacrifice. If you don't love, sacrifice is going to be difficult for you to engage in. I know people get into businesses that they don't even love. They do it because they heard other people are doing it, that it gives them money. So they commit to going to that business because that's what they don't love it. So when they are saying find your passion, so they say find the thing that you love to do. Because by the time if you find what you love to do, you will be able to give a lot to it. And the measure of your commitment, or the measure of your love, or the measure of your commitment to a vision is what you give to that vision. If you're taking every time from what you're doing, then you are not in love, or you don't love that process. For say God so loved the world that he does what? So the beginning, the roots, the foundation of sacrifice is actually love. I don't know the other way to teach it. In business school, in Harvard, everywhere, If you don't love, you can't sacrifice. Whenever your love reduces, your level of sacrifice reduces. And you need to come to the point where you are in love with what you do. If you're in a career, in a job, in a business that you don't love, you might start to reconsider it. And that's why people are in businesses and jobs. They are going through a lot in their business. They are not looking like it. Have you seen people like that? Huh? I'm struggling to lose 10 kg, 20 kg. And I'm asking myself, what I'm going through should make me lose 40 kg just like 1 week. Yet, you are excited when you see the next portion of land that you want to buy. Your head, your something just starts pushing inside you. You're excited when you see the next person moving into his house. Something's excited about. You are excited when you see the next design, or you see the next project, or you see the next branch being opened. You're excited. There's something about it that bobs inside you. The question is this morning, do you love what you do? Do you really love what you do? Do you love where you work? Do you love the people you work with? You can't lead a set of people if you don't show them a lot of love. If they don't see love inside you, the leadership is difficult. Love have the way to grease relationship. That's why, they say, that's why friendship is stronger in most things, because friendship is powered by love. Hello? So if you get into your office, and instead of loving the people around you, loving your boss, loving your leader, and honestly, if you don't love your leader, you cannot align with your leader. The level of opposition you have for your leader, some people say, no, I'm opposing him for his good. Confrontation and opposition is not a show of love. There's always a way to lovingly redirect or help a leader to realign. I don't know you understand what I'm trying to say. Say, I love him. So you walk into the office next morning and say, sir, that thing you did yesterday, I want to tell you that because I love you, I want to let you know that that thing is wrong and it has the capacity to bring down this business. And if you continue like this, we are not going to see the light in the end of the tunnel. And I tell you because it's something that I'm passionate about, and I just want you to know, no, you have failed it. In my opinion. And if you love your organization, you will find the best way to be able to communicate. In fact, if you love your organization, you will make your MD to love you. Because if the MD love you, you can manipulate him. Sorry, I'm using the word manipulate. Okay, you can take advantage of him. Let me look for another wrong word. You can actually exploit him. Love makes you vulnerable. You understand? So people don't understand that when they get to the office, that the first thing to do is not to try to lead the leader. Is not to try to command the leader. It's not to try to suffocate the leader. It is to first to try to love the leader and to make the leader love you. Once you get to the point where you and the leader are in love, forget it. You have conquered the organization. And the organizational love language is different from the emotional love language. You need to understand that. So in the emotional love language, maybe touch, time, quality time. What other thing? Out of service. But but in the organizational love language, there's different thing. It's results. Results? Results? If you are contributing ideas that are helping the bottom line, you know what the bottom line is? Come to happen. You're bringing concepts that are helping employee motivation. You know what employee motivation is? That you're giving time, quality time, extra, beyond what is being paid for. You understand what I'm trying to say? That you're coming to work at the time you should come, and you're getting your job done. You are not busybody, but you're busy doing the business. I don't know what I'm saying. The love language at work is not the same with the love language at home. I don't know that helps somebody. John 15 says, "No, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down his life for another person." Leadership requires that we commit completely to loving the vision and loving it with all our heart. You must love your vision enough to be able to fight for it. Love your team enough to invest in them. Love your team enough to be able to what? To invest in them. If all that comes into your organization is what you swallow, or you take care of only yourself and your family, and you forget your team, then you're not showing any leadership. You must love your team enough to be able to invest in them, and of course, love division enough to be able to fight for it. If you are not able to fight for division, then you're not going. Number 2 is giving. So I'm saying leadership is loving, leadership is love, is loving, and of course, leadership is giving. If giving is the action of leadership, while love is the heart of leadership, giving is the action of leadership. Love is the heart of leadership. Giving is the action of leadership. If you love and don't give, sorry, you don't love. For when God loved, he gave. Sacrifice always involves giving. Sacrifice always involves giving. When you're sacrificing and you're not giving, you are not sacrificing. You can be doing something else, but not. So you must ask yourself, what have I given? So you ask yourself, I've been a part of the Compass Assembly for some time now. What am I giving? How much time have I given? How much wisdom, how much in charge of my capacity have I deposited here? That will show whether you have made enough sacrifice. And the truth about it is that the more you sacrifice, the more you connect or you fund what we have come to know as emotional bank. Because sacrifice triggers emotion. The Bible says when he once sacrificed his child on the wall, God turned in anger against his own people. There's a point you produce sacrifice in your business. Your business will be provoked to work. So this man has given enough. Result has to come. They said there's nobody succeeding here. This business does not move forward to anybody. But because you have paid price, you have worked late nights, you have sacrificed food, time, energy, you have given it all. The Bible says it gets to the point where the business turns with range and begin to work for you. I don't understand what I'm saying. That there's nothing that does not react, because sacrifice provokes emotion greatly. Hello? In fact, we discovered that the act of selling is more sustainable at the altar of sacrifice. That if you sacrifice a little more to satisfy your customers, that they can remain with you for a long time. They consistently buy, whether you market them or not, because you would have triggered something that makes them feel that they are indebted to you. Great leaders are great givers. One of the things that make leadership difficult in our country is that leadership has been viewed as an opportunity to acquire, to take. That's just the problem of leadership. Once we redefine leadership as giving, and the company philosophy about leadership becomes when you go there to give, everything will change. Because when your leadership is based on the principle of giving, your leadership becomes great and result-oriented. Great leaders give their energy, their time, their wisdom, their resources. And that's why when you meet a pastor that's a great leader, a pastor, as counseling you, he's giving you his money. As he's giving you his money, he's giving you his time. He's come to your house. In the midst of it, he's tired. He's feeling sleepy. He's struggling to come out. Because great leaders are leaders that give. They spend nothing at giving. If you want to lead, don't begin to struggle. Just begin to give. And don't give just what you like. Give what the people need. Some people give what they like. No. Don't give. You have to understand the people that you want to lead and be able to give them what they need. Not necessarily what they want, but what they really need to be able to grow. It's important to understand that leadership given demonstrates to a great extent humility and trustworthiness. You know, leadership and trust is something that are tied together. And we are saying that giving demonstrates humility and trustworthiness. Because someone who is, you know that people who are stingy are always arrogant. Have you noticed that? Any people that are very stingy, they are people who are stingy and self-centered, they are always, their shoulder is like this. And there's a thread now that is having shoulder like that. I've not understood it yet. So I'm trying to study this. Because this Gen Z, since you people are formulating, it's getting too much for those of us to catch. But we are trying to come up. But the truth is that if you see someone who is self-centered and selfish and does not give, his shoulder is like this. He's the person that when he walks in church, he's always offended. He's the person that if you don't greet him, he's annoyed. You don't visit him, he's worried. He's always wanting you to give him something. He said you will give him prayer, you give him visitation, you give him counseling. Then when it comes for him to give you to support, he will be telling you, he will be calculating and pressing calculator here and there. Giving demonstrates humility. I'm a humble man, sir. I want to see how much you're able to give to it. They say give your time. They say give your greeting. They say give some respect. They say give some commitment. They say even give some resources. And if you are not able to, if humility is not found in your system, business growth is difficult. And we say giving demonstrates trustworthiness. Trust is the fulcrum of business growth. You know trust? Everything you do in your business, please make sure you are building trust. The more you are trusted, the more you can be invested in. Or more people can invest on you, on your business. In fact, the only time they ask you what you have done before is because they want to establish whether they can trust you to be able to use their money to do more. If the bank cannot trust you, cannot give you more. If your friend cannot trust you, can't give you more. They can give you the first one for relationship's sake. But if they don't trust, in fact, we have discovered that trust is more stronger than any other collateral that you can present. Once you can prove trust. And that's why some people who have done some studies discover that it's trust that makes us become closer, the farther we are from where we are from. Because from your villages now, if you're here, if you see your village person, you become very close and you're happy. If you live here and you go to Abuja, if you see someone from River State, you see the person as, oh boy, now we are on Niger Delta. You become closer because you trust the person more. Because you think that he understands you more and he has your interest. This is not now. Guess what? When you leave Nigeria, you know we are fighting here. Fulani, Igbo, Yoruba, Ikwere, Igbo. Once we leave here and we enter maybe outside, we go any country outside this country. We are Niger. Niger, they carry us. If you see any black man, you watch his way, his step. You watch his way. If you see how he's moving, you say this one is Niger. Say, bros, how far now? When you say, bros, how far, he answer you. You say, now we. That is trust playing. That's how it happens in business. Once you are able to build some trust into somebody, you can be able to lead the person carefully. You can lead the person. That's why our teachers have said that leadership is not about position. It's about the things you are doing, to be able to trigger your ability to be able to manage that person's decision. And trust is one of the strong things you can do. You can build. Number 3, faith. Sacrifice as a leadership is loving, is given. And as a leadership, and as a loving is the heart of leadership. And giving is the act of leadership. Permit me to say again that faith is the foundation of leadership. That if your sacrifice, of course, sacrifice. Well, the focus is sacrifice. Of course, it ties to leadership. Leadership is what we are discussing. We are looking at faith as the strong component to be able to power leadership in whatever you are. And I said that loving is the act of, loving is key to it. And of course, giving is so much powered in it. And now we want to discuss faith as something that has to help you to create sacrifice in a very dimension. And I'm saying here strongly again that foundation is key to sacrificing for you to go up in the process of becoming a leader. Sacrifice. Sacrifice requires faith. Just the way it requires love, it requires faith. Just the way it requires giving, it requires faith. If you don't have faith in the process, you cannot lead it, and you cannot be allowed, or people will not follow you. You give up something now, trusting that a greater reward, a greater result will come. You know, every time you're in leadership, you give up, just hoping that you get something better. I hear our lead pastor say it every time. He said, I'm investing in you because I know that tomorrow. He said, don't think I'm doing these things for nothing. No. I'm doing it because I know. And true to it, after a while, those things begin to come to pass in your life. If you don't trust that the people you are leading have the ability to provide or produce the result that is expected, then your leadership will be weak. You have to come to the point of sacrifice where you trust to the extent that what you're doing will bring good for you. So you send them on training because you trust that when they finish training, you know, I wanted to send some people on training. 5 people, I discussed a lot of people about it. They say, as you're sending them, no, I want to send them to some kind of exposure. They say, as you're sending, can't you write undertaking that when they come, they will come back, they will work for you for another some years before they know. And that was the general advice. But one man, I can't even remember his name, but his advice stuck. When I told him, he said, send them now. That's what you have added to their life. That's what he said, send them now. That's what you have added to their life. I said, this one is greater wisdom. So that sometimes you are not sending people, sometimes you can do that. I don't know. There are cognitional procedure that requires that you have some kind of contractual agreement with some people you send. That's it. But, you know, but sometimes you need to decide that is your own thing that you're giving to this person's life. That if you finish giving it, that somehow it produces result for you. When we wanted to start the ESP system in our system, we're asking us, if I come here, I teach them every Monday. I'm teaching this book, I research, I stay up, I research, I get findings, and I teach people. They use and go and sell for other real estate companies. And they will go and sell for another place. It was a great thought running through my mind. So if you are not careful, you will hide the knowledge and wisdom because you don't want to teach them so that they will now become equipped to go and sell for other people. But after a while, I told myself, let me teach them. If nothing else, let them what they are using to sell for the other person. So I decided to leave it by sacrifice. I said, I'm not signing anything. So I started pouring my heart out, pouring myself out, teaching very strongly every Monday. Eventually built an army of realtors. Somehow, strangely, they stayed for a very long time. In fact, I called them for a meeting last week. I said, look, I think we have come to the point, because I have been thinking that I don't want to, because some of them have started going to sell for other people and sell for other real estate company. The first time you feel like a human being, you're a bit angry. But after a while, I said, this is what we have. We discussed this before we started now. You can leave these people. So I called them for a meeting, some few of them for a meeting. As I noticed that some other people are going to sell for other real estate company, why not we open it that all of us can go and start selling to other real estate company and also sell for our capital city? It's not better. And I meant it. There were 10 of them in that meeting. 10 of them insisted that they don't want to do that. These are people that are not on salary. I mentioned it's only one person that was on salary, the coordinator. The rest of them are not on salary. They are the best, 5K stipend a week. to make calls and follow up other people that are not on salary. They're not on salary. They're only on 5 pence, 5K, 50 pen a week to call the people that are not also not on salary like them, to follow up on them. And I'm saying, go and sell to other people. Sell to other people. They say no, that they don't want, or God, no, or God, leave it like this as it is for us. We are not complaining. I say, but sometimes we don't have the right product for you. You are not going to say, no, we are not complaining. So, but if we listen to that voice then of self, I will hate all the knowledge. I won't grow, they won't grow. We will remain in the same place. So you must be able to have faith in people, or faith in people that you live, that whatever you are depositing in them, whatever all the things you are giving to them, they are going to be able to produce the result that you want. Have faith in your organization, that the time and energy you're providing or giving to that organization can produce result for you. And Pastor has killed it. He said you will always reap what you sow. You may not reap it where you have sown it. Did you hear that one? I heard it 7 years ago at the Wisdom Place Church. And I've carried it to the Campus Assembly. Leaders lead people to unknown. They work with faith. I said we are going to conquer 20 countries. How? Where? By how? Leadership is leading to unknown. Going before everybody to test waters. Risking everything before every other person. If you are not ready to walk into the unknown, you cannot be a successful business leader. Some people say they want to go to Mars. Unknown. Some people say they want to move their business from selling at 100,000 naira to billions of naira. Unknown. You are a leader. You are moving from known to unknown. No, you have to develop the faith for that journey to do well in business. Because faith is the confidence of what we hope for, the assurance of what we don't see. Number 4, my time is gone. And lastly, leading and sacrificing is living. Is living. I've said that faith is the foundation of sacrifice to leadership. Action given is the action of leadership. And of course, love is the heart of leadership. And those are the things, and all these things are powered by sacrifice. Powered by sacrifice. That's the best way to tie them together. The proof of leadership. Living is the proof of leadership. Living is the proof of leadership. Sacrifice is not just one-time act. It is a way of living. Leaders, we must live daily on sacrifice. In fact, someone said that leaders must live their message daily. That leaders must live their message daily. That thing you want to tell us, they say live it. So the act of apostles, those things that they did and said. So if you want to be a leader, you come in the morning and say, we are giving our best, we are going to take places, we are going here, you are going here. Sir, if you have not gone there, in fact, Pastor said it, and he said leadership is going to where you want to take people to and come back to take them there. If you are not able to exemplify, he said, let's commit everything to this place. We'll commit it. It will be helpful for us. You are not committing everything. Time to Nigerians need to sacrifice. Nigerians need to sacrifice at this time so that the economy can get better. Then when we check, you are not sacrificing. You're still getting all the. You understand? Well, don't drag me to politics now. But the point is that there are people who live like our Nigerian leaders, even in their own business. You understand what I'm saying now? So you come to your staff and say, this month is something, and we need to salary this amount. I might have to adjust your salary. That month you want to adjust other people's salary so that things can go is the month you take extra pay. You do extra travel. You go to extra holiday. Your wife look at it extra better. And your children go to extra expensive schools. Then you tell your staff that you're leading that they need to sacrifice. Sir, you are not leading. You're stealing. And you know one thing about stealing? After a while, you start killing. And who comes to steal and to kill? So after some time, you say it's the devil that came into that business. Come, just turn around and look at the mirror, please. Say, the devil has destroyed my business. Can you please turn around and look at the mirror, please? That we leaders, and it's a very difficult part to be able to live your message. I'm not saying leaders don't make mistakes, but when they make mistakes, they own up to the mistakes. I'm wrong. So you can realign. Do you understand what I'm saying? But we need to live our message. And this is a very difficult part to be in our businesses. You say you want to be trusted. You want to build your business on trust. You want to build your business on integrity and all that. You need to live it. And when you are told as a leader that you're not living it, find the humility to receive correction. Lastly, that for leaders, sacrifice become lifestyle. You know lifestyle? You know lifestyle? Not an event. That sacrifice for leadership is a lifestyle, not an event. You know people who have lifestyle, they dress very flamboyantly. That's lifestyle. They drink quite every evening. They go to drink. That's lifestyle. They party a lot. That's lifestyle. They love their family. That's lifestyle. They like driving good cars. That's lifestyle. You know this. You know lifestyle. That's something that you do effortlessly. It's now part of your system. It's something that happens in your routine regularly. We are saying that sacrifice for leaders in business is a lifestyle. It's not an event. In other words, you sacrifice to get to a level. You need some more sacrifice to get to the next level. You sacrifice to make 100 million. You need another sacrifice to go to 500 million. You need another sacrifice to get to 1 billion. And you need another sacrifice to get to 1 trillion. This level of sacrifice that is required at every point in your business is different. And you must pay that price. So sacrifice has to be natural to you. Your discomfort, your time, your sleep, your job, a lot of things go to sacrificing to go up. If you are not ready to pay, to be at the point where you can sacrifice quite a lot, don't bother about leading. Leading by saying that there's a choice. When you are not able to give yourself to these things that we have discussed this Sunday morning, brethren, you can leave the leadership for the people that want to lead it. Romans chapter 12 verse 1 says, we offer your body as a living sacrifice. Living sacrifice. Continuously committing to it. Love motivates sacrifice. Giving expresses sacrifice. Faith sustains sacrifice. Living models sacrifice. As we go to God in prayer. Let's just pray this Sunday morning. In Matthew chapter 20, 26, say, whoever wants to become great among you must be a servant there. And it is something that we have to ask God and say, Father, the spirit of sacrifice is what we need to grow our businesses and grow our vision and grow our church to the next level. Help us that sacrifice will be ever present in our spirit. I want to pray and commit to God because we are praying at this time. Let enough love develop in our hearts to motivate us enough to lay it all down.